Integrated column refrigerators and freezers can be mixed and matched for ultimate design freedom. Available in a range of sizes and designed to fit flush with cabinetry, columns can be paired or installed separately. Columns can be customized with a left or right hinge opening, contemporary or professional handle styles, a stainless steel or white interior finish, and stainless steel or custom door panels and toe kicks. This video is intended only as an overview to support the installation of Fisher & Paykel integrated columns. It should not be relied on in isolation. Read and refer to the installation guide for all safety warnings. To install Fisher & Paykel integrated columns safely, you'll need to read the installation guide and check that you have everything you need. Take note of all safety guidelines and warnings. Be aware of all hazards that could lead to electric shock and injury. Exercise caution. This appliance is top heavy and must be secured to prevent the possibility of tipping. Please also follow your local authorities' compliance regulations. Integrated columns must be installed by a qualified installer or a Fisher & Paykel trained and supported service technician to avoid faulty electrical connection and water leaks. Appliance failure due to improper installation is not covered under the appliance warranty. Check the cabinetry dimensions, including width, depth, height, floor level, and finish alcove returns. Refer back to the installation guide to confirm all dimensions and specifications. To unpack and move columns, you'll need a crosshead screwdriver, scissors, a box cutter, a step ladder, and a two-wheeled cart with restraining straps. Remember, column appliances are heavy and require at least 2 people to unpack and install. Be careful when unpacking to prevent damage to the surface of your appliance. First, cut the straps. Remove the carton top. Cut along the lines indicated using a box cutter. There is a layer of polystyrene foam protecting the appliance, which should be removed along with the carton. Check that the feet of the appliance are retracted. To finish, dispose of all packaging according to your local authority recycling guidelines. Before moving columns, remove all pre-packed installation parts. This includes the door panel side extrusion and the side trim and center trim assembly kits, which are taped to the back panel of the appliance. Also remove all pre-installed parts, including the installation kit and technical content, the bottom and top fixed grille, the top trim, and the top door panel extrusion. Keep the screws, you will need them later when reinstalling the removed parts. Do not remove the central magnet housing from the appliance. For 90-degree door opening, add the hinge limiting pin before removing the appliance from the pallet. You can find the hinge limiting pins in the installation kit. At this point, we recommend that you tape the door shut. This will prevent the door from opening while the appliance is being moved. The doors should remain taped shut until the appliance is at the installation location. You should also remove the angled anti-tilt brackets from one side of the appliance. Now you're ready to move the appliance. Gently tilt columns so the cart can be slipped under from the side between the appliance and the polystyrene foam. Do not slide the cart under from the back or the front. Secure columns to the cart with straps and then tilt the appliance backward onto the cart. Remove the screws from the anti-tilt brackets, then the screws from the pallet to release it. Remove the screws from the pallet and set it aside. Finally, make sure that the floor is protected and that there is a clear path before pushing the cart to the installation location. Before you begin, refer to the installation guide for all safety warnings. To assemble and attach the anti-tip bracket, you will need a crosshead screwdriver, 4 M10 to 12 by 35mm pan head screws, 2 anti-tip brackets, a marker or pencil, a level, and safety glasses. Measure horizontally from the bottom end of the alcove return towards the back wall. This will locate the contact surface between the bracket and the appliance. Mark the screw locations of the anti-tip bracket on the wall based on the most central wall stud. Drill screw holes at the marked locations. For wooden or plasterboard wall installation, fix the bracket to the wall with 4 M10 to 12 by 35mm pan head screws and screw tightly. For solid wall installation, hammer 4 M10 by 30mm masonry plugs into the wall until flush. Make sure the bracket overlaps the appliance by at least 7 1/8 inches for a secure hold. If you cannot achieve the minimum overlap, install a solid spacer to the wall stud behind the bracket. Before connecting power or water, refer to the installation guide for all safety warnings. To connect to the water supply, you will need 1 collet locking clip, 1/4 inch stainless steel braided hose. Before connection, we recommend flushing the hose with water to remove any debris. Remove the mounting plate. Insert the hose into the pressure reducing valve. Access the back of the appliance to connect the power cable to the power supply. Power on the appliance. You will hear a chime and it will automatically go into standby mode. Next, you will need to activate the appliance. Please refer to the user guide for details. Secure the water connection with a locking clip between the PRV and the hose end of the adapter. Check the connection and turn on the water to test for leaks. A dual installation is when 2 appliances are installed side by side. A joiner kit can be used for any of these dual install options. The joiner kit is attached to the back of freezer models only. If you'd like to pair 2 refrigerators, a dual install joiner kit can be bought separately. You can also change the door of your appliance from right-hand hinge to left-hand hinge or vice versa. A hinge change kit will be required to achieve this. For a dual install, you will need a crosshead screwdriver and 4 depth alignment gauges. For the top joiner bracket, you will need 2 number 8 by 16mm mush washer screws and 1 central spacer. To attach the central spacer to the cabinetry, measure from the alcove side towards the centre. The spacer must be attached between the first and second appliances. The location for attaching the spacer to the alcove ceiling depends on the appliance model. Using a depth alignment gauge, mark the location and depth position of the central spacer on the alcove ceiling depending on the door panel thickness. Fix the central spacer to the alcove ceiling with 2 number 8 by 16mm countersunk screws. Tighten the screws with a screwdriver or powered drill. To install the depth alignment gauges, Loosen the screws at the right, left, top and bottom corners of the door. Locate the alignment gauge to the screws with the correct orientation. Lock the position of the alignment gauges in the keyhole and tighten the screws just enough to firmly hold the gauges. To position and align the first appliance inside the cabinetry, you will need one barbed plug and a ruler. Before rolling the appliance in, insert a barbed plug into the large hole on the cabinetry side of the first appliance. This will protect the inside of the cabinetry from damage by screws on the side of the appliance. Check the clearance between the floor and the feet of the appliance. Check that the rollers can roll freely on the floor. Align the freezer to the cabinetry. We recommend installing the appliance with the water connection first so that you can test the connection before installing the second appliance. Coil the water hose so that it lies flat behind the appliance. Roll the first appliance inside the cabinetry. Make sure that the water hose is not run over to prevent damage and possible water leaks. Continue rolling the appliance into the cabinetry until the anti-tip bracket overlaps the upper back surface of the appliance. Place a ruler on the steps of the alignment gauges to check if they are flush relative to the thickness of the door panel. Check that the gaps between the appliance and the cabinetry side wall are even. Align the top cap of the first appliance flush with the front of the spacer. To adjust the height of the appliance inside the cabinetry, you will need a crosshead powered driver at minimum torque setting. First, turn the front and rear adjustment screws to extend the feet until they are fully engaged with the floor. One turn of the height adjusting screws is equivalent to 1/32 of an inch of height adjustment. A clockwise turn increases the height and a counterclockwise turn lowers it. Continue turning the adjusting screws alternately between the front and rear feet until you achieve the correct alignment. Once you are satisfied with the alignment, increase the height of the appliance by alternately adjusting the front and rear feet until the top surface makes contact with the alcove ceiling. Check the alignment gauges while adjusting the screws to make sure you maintain the alignment of the appliance. Ensure all feet are positively engaged with the floor. To fix the first appliance inside the cabinetry, you will need a crosshead screwdriver or powered drill and 5 number 8 by 16mm countersunk screws. Ensure the appliance does not move as you open the door to install the screws. Fix the top bracket of the first appliance to the ceiling of the alcove with 2 number 8 by 16mm countersunk screws. Fix the alcove side bracket to the alcove side surface with 1 number 8 by 16mm countersunk screw. To position and align the second appliance inside the cabinetry, you will need one barbed plug and a ruler. Check the clearance between the floor and the feet of the appliance. Ensure the rollers can move freely on the floor. Before rolling the appliance in, insert a barbed plug into the large hole on the cabinetry side of the second appliance. This protects the inside of the cabinetry from being damaged by the screws on the side of the appliance. Roll the second appliance into the cabinetry next to the first appliance until the anti-tip bracket overlaps the back surface of the appliance. Confirm all gaps are even. To adjust the height of the appliance inside the cabinetry, you will need a crosshead powered driver at minimum torque setting. Ensure the doors are flush with the front of the cabinetry and that the appliance is centered. Turn the front and rear adjustment screws to extend the feet until they are fully engaged with the floor. Continue turning the adjusting screws alternately between the front and rear feet until you achieve the correct alignment. Once you are satisfied with the alignment, increase the height of the appliance by alternately adjusting the front and rear feet until the top surface makes contact with the alcove ceiling. Check the alignment gauges while adjusting the screws to make sure you maintain the alignment of the appliance. Ensure all feet are positively engaged with the floor. To fix the second appliance inside the cabinetry, you will need a crosshead screwdriver, a top joiner fastener kit, including one M5 by 20mm cap screw, one M5 by 16mm by 1mm plain washer, two M6 by 12mm by 3.2mm plastic washers, two M6 by 16mm washer screws, 5 number 8 by 16mm countersunk screws, one M6 hex nut, an M4 hex key, a 1/2 inch spanner. Fix the top caps of the first and second appliances to the central spacer with a top joiner fastener kit. Fix the bottom joiner brackets of both appliances together with the bottom joiner kit. Place the plastic washer between the bottom joiner bracket before tightening with the hex key and 13mm spanner. Fix the top brackets and bottom alcove side bracket of the second appliance to the cabinetry with number 8 by 16mm countersunk screws. Check the final alignment, ensuring the feet are positively engaged with the floor. To install the water filter, you'll need one water filter removal tool, which is included with the appliance. Pull the filter tool gently to dislodge it from the front of the appliance. Insert the water filter all the way into the filter casing and press firmly until the filter head lodges inside the casing. Use the water filter tool to rotate the filter head 90 degrees to lock it in place. Then return the filter tool to its storage position. Turn on the water supply and check for leaks. For installing custom door panels, you will need a drill with a 3/32 of an inch bit, a crosshead powered driver, an M4 hex key, a 1/2 inch spanner. Custom door panels. 6 side panel brackets, 6 bracket sliders, 6 panel bracket spacers, 30 M5 by 12mm crosshead screws. To attach the top and side hanging brackets to the custom door panel, first remove the M8 washer and M8 nut from the M8 screws at the top of the door. Unscrew the adjustment screws by 1/8 of an inch to move close to the middle of the adjustment range. Remove the top hanging bracket from the top of the door and set aside. Mark the location of the screw holes and drill pilot holes to the marked location. Minimum panel thickness where the screw holes are drilled must be 5/8 of an inch. Do not place the handle holes in the marked areas to avoid clashing with panel attachment brackets. Ensure the screw pilot holes do not penetrate the full depth of the panel. Align the side panel bracket assembly, the bracket, slider and spacer, to the screw holes on the side of the door panel and fix with M5 by 12mm crosshead screws. Align the bracket screw holes with the screw holes of the door panel and fix the hanging bracket to the door panel with M5 by 12mm crosshead screws. Mark the center line from the top of the custom panel and ensure the alignment with the V-notch in the bracket. To attach the door handle, you'll need 4 M5 by 25mm hex screws, a drill with a 3/32 of an inch bit, a crosshead powered driver, an M4 hex key, a 1/2 inch spanner. Mark out and drill pilot holes. We recommend pre-planning to ensure the door handle does not interfere with the side attachment brackets. Fix the handle to the panel with M5 by 25mm hex screws from the inner edge of the panel. Open the door, remove gauges, and loosen the screws at both sides of the door, but do not remove. Adjust the height of the M8 stud to ensure a 1/8 of an inch gap. Remove the tape from the airflow dividers. Hang the door panel with a small angle to the door by locating the holes of the top bracket to the M8 studs. Rotate the door panel down so the side attachment brackets slide into the side screws of the door. Screw the M8 washer and nut to the stud and retighten the side screws to fix the door panel, but do not fully tighten. This will allow opening of the door without affecting the adjustment of the door panel. All door panels have full access adjustment to ensure they are flush with adjacent walls. Check gaps between the door panel and cabinetry using the alignment gauge. To adjust the height of the door panel relative to the door, use the M4 hex key to turn the top M8 screw. Turn it clockwise to lower or counterclockwise to raise the door panel until the gap with the cabinetry is above 1/8 of an inch. To adjust the depth of the door panel, loosen the side screws from each side and slide the door panel forward and backward. Retighten once satisfied. Once satisfied with the door panel position, fully tighten the M8 washer and nut to the stud using an M4 hex key. To adjust the door panels further, remove the door panels and then loosen the fixing screws for the hanging bracket and move the bracket sideways to suit. To fix the locking brackets, loosen the screw at the bottom of the door and slide the locking bracket out until it touches the panel. Fix the locking bracket to the door panel with a number 8 by 16mm countersunk screw. Retighten the screw at the bottom of the door. Hang and adjust the second door panel. To install the toe kick, you'll need a crosshead powered driver, an M4 hex key, one toe kick mounting plate, one toe kick, M8 by 16mm pan head screws, the top grille, and the bottom grille. Attach the toe kick mounting plate to the plinth. If the toe kick depth is less than 3 5/8 inches, attach the ear toe kick seal to the middle of the back side of the mounting plate. To attach the top and bottom grills, install the top fixed grill with M8s by 16mm pan head screws and reinstall the bottom hinge pocket cover. The removable grill is clipped to the mounting plate. For toe kick heights of 4.5 to 5 inches, shorten the bottom grill by cutting along the vertical ribs. Each magnet is fitted with double-sided tape to be attached to the toe kick. Place the toe kick in front of the mounting plate. Ensure that the spaces at the back of the toe kick are aligned with the magnets. Attach the toe kick by pressing onto the mounting plate. For the stainless steel option, ensure the adhesive tape of the magnets adhere to the spaces of the toe kick. Ensure the bottom of the toe kick contacts the floor as you attach the mounting plate. To adjust the toe kick, loosen the cap screws of the adjustment brackets from both sides of the plinth using the hex key. Adjust the toe kick to the desired depth by moving it forward or backward. Retighten the cap screws of the adjustment brackets on both sides using a hex key. To install the cabinet trims, you'll need top trim, center trim, side trim. There are 4 dual lock strips pre-installed along each side trim. To install the side trims, peel off the liners from the dual lock strips. Position the trim on the throat at an angle. Slide the trim behind the lower hinge, then the top hinge. Maintain the trim angle when sliding it. Slot the trim in behind the top hinge pocket, then press the adhesive to the cavity, ensuring the trim is also tight against the appliance inner face. To install the top trim, slide it into the hinge pocket of the cabinet, and then engage the dual lock strips on the non-hinge side. 4 dual lock strips are pre-installed along the center trim. Peel off the liners of the dual lock strips and position the trim between the throats of both cabinets. Push and press the trim on the appliances. Make sure the top end of the trim is pushed up against the alcove ceiling before fixing the position. Press the center trim to fix the position. Align the notch on the top door panel extrusion with the magnet housing at the top of the door and clip the door trim assembly into the magnet housing. Press the top door panel extrusion down into the top of the door so that the dual lock strips engage together. Press the door panel side extrusion into the gap between the door and the door panel. Align the top of the door panel side extrusion with the top door panel extrusion. Do this on each side. Ensure both doors can open and close freely.